Alright, so before I start the video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the BS Gang. It's free. But with that said, let me go ahead and jump straight into it. This is the guy you've all been waiting for, at least in my comment section. People really wanted me to go over both of the Droles, and I get that he's a really good character, but I was just like, why do they want me to go over Drole so bad? But you guys wanted it, so of course I'm gonna give it to you. So here it is, right? We'll start off with blue Drole. Obviously there's two versions, this one and the green one. Now for the blue version, he is about to get one of the best partners like ever, right? So Sariel was confirmed yesterday in the update preview. The official Netmarble page put out a trailer for both him and Tarmio. So his partner in Sariel is going to be so good, right? So he's about to get a really good partner. Now, Blue Drole is an amazing unit because his stats are very good. He also has very good CC. As you guys can see, 50k CC, no dupes in him, right? 1 out of 6. So very good unit. His skills, let's go over his skills. You guys already know how it goes, right? We go over his skills, passive, etc. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. So his first skill is actually a petrification skill. It does 200%, 200% again, and then 250%, right? So of course, it'll petrify the opponent on rank 2 for 1 turn and on rank 3 for 2 turns, which is very good. He also has a taunt card, but it's different from Esterosa's, right? Esterosa's taunt, or like every other person's taunt in the game, is somewhat considered like a stance, not really a buff, right? I believe Green Fighter Diane also has this, where their taunt is actually considered a buff, which is nice because for him, right, since he taunts, his passive is increases allies attack by 3% for every buff applied to the hero. So this is very good for Blue Drole because he basically gets 3 buffs, right? So he gets the taunt buff, he also gets the HP related buff, which is on all of them, by the way, even on rank 1, and then he becomes immune to petrify, which is another buff. So that's 3 buffs right there. So that's giving you basically a 9% buff to allies, which is very good, right? So he increases HP related stats by 15% on rank 1, 20% on rank 2, and then 30% on rank 3, which is insane. And then he becomes immune to petrify basically for 1 turn, 2 turns, and then 2 turns again on the rank 3. So very good there. So again, he's a very good unit if you're trying to like stall. He can legit like cuck people who do massive amounts of damage because of his HP increase. Also because he does have very high HP just to start with, right? So very good. His commandment also helps him tank because this basically applies an effect that increases resistance by 30% for 3 turns when you take damage from a skill in PvP, right? So on top of the 3 buffs he got from his buff card right here, he can get another 3, which is crazy. That's actually crazy because then he'll be able to get 18% attack, which is like, huh? He's giving 18% attack to all allies. Now that might be like, okay, that's not that big, but considering you don't really have to do much except for play this card, get hit 3 times with Drole, and then all his allies are getting buffed. That's really good. Like that's a really good passive skill to have, right? So again, this goes very good with Sariel because I already put up the video, right? But his new effect that he's gonna bring to the game, Power Strike, does more damage depending on the amount of resistance a unit has. So that's gonna be very clutch for Drole, or for Sariel, right? And then Drole helping him do that is just crazy. So then his ultimate is a Giga Fall, inflicts charge damage equal to 455% on all enemies, and then the multiplier, I believe it's like 50% or something like that. I'm not good at math, so I don't know, but yeah, a very good skill to have, very clutch. So of course you already know I have all his outfits, right? So all his outfits, right? So we have the URs and then the SSRs. So we have to wait, unfortunately, for more outfits to come out, so that way he can have a full UR set. I have all his weapons, and I have all his except for this one. I don't have this one, but that's from the green one for the hero affinity, right? But it's an SSR one anyway, and I'm already maxed out on all the pieces of the of the cosmetics. So there you go, right? Very, very good there. All right, now let's get into the build, the bread and butter of why you all are here. So how you want to build both Droles actually is with HP and defense. So very straightforward. HP and defense is the way to go for both of these Droles. These Droles are meant to be tanks, right? They're meant to be like just juggernauts that can take damage. So for example, his resistance commandment helps a lot, right? So he has insane resistance. He has 80.5% resistance. Now you're adding 30%, right? Up to a maximum of 90%. 90% resistance on him, he's in, like, it's over. It's over. He's not taking damage except from Sario, right? Because Sario does, you know, do more damage based on how much resistance a unit has. But again, very, very insane. Now, you could do triple defense just for fun. That's not optimal. But again, he does have really good defense. So you could run that. You could run HP, or not HP. You could run attack and defense. But that's more so for Green Drole, which we'll get into, right? But HP and defense is the most optimal way to build this unit, right? Not only is he getting high CC, he's also getting more HP upon his HP related stats buff from his card. So keep that in mind as well. But that's how you're going to want to build the blue Drole, right? So let's go ahead. Let's go to the green Drole and let's check him out. So like usual, we'll go over the skills and whatnot. So green Drole, very similar in a way to blue Drole in terms of like stats. You can see here, just slightly higher resistance, but like just all in all, kind of similar. Their skills are what makes them very much different, right? So Green Drole's first skill is a detonate card, which is powerful. This is very, very powerful, and it comes in clutch a lot. So you have inflicts detonate damage equal to 160% of attack on one enemy on skill 1, or on rank 1. On rank 2, it's 240%, and then on rank 3, it's 400%, right? With detonate, if the enemy has a full like alt gauge, right, that's 500% damage because you're getting 20% additional damage per orb, and there's 5 orbs in the alt move, right? In the alt move gauge. So that's really, really good. So depending on the amount of orbs they have, you just do massive damage, man. You do really, really good damage. Even with an HP defense set, it's still very, very good damage because of that. So that's why I like that skill. Then on his skill 2, he has a debuff and buff ceiling card. So he disables buff and debuff skills for 1 turn, and then on rank 3, he disables buff and debuff skills on for 2 turns, right? For rank 1, it's literally just a 120% AoE damage card, which isn't a lot of damage. Same thing with rank 2, right? But again, it's still very clutch. The only time it's not clutch is when someone patiences it. Now, of course, the multiplier is low, and if you run an HP and defense set on him, the chances of, like, I don't know, a red unit patiencing it it's likely, but it doesn't happen often, right? So that's really, really good there. So very, very good. It really cucks people who like buff, like Green Gother, Goddess Elizabeth, anyone who basically relies on a buff card, it can cuck them. So it's very, very good. Same thing with the blue Drole, right? Commandment's the exact same, resistance buff, but his passive is very, very good. His passive basically locks alt moves for 2 turns every time an enemy reaches 5 orbs. So this isn't just a one-time deal. Literally, you can have Red Zeldris, which is why Red Zeldris is such a good partner for him. You can have Red Zeldris take away an orb, and then if they get their ultimate gauge again, it locks it. So it is repeatable, which is very, very, that's so good. Like, it's so good. You guys don't understand. It's really, really good. If you have this unit, you know, but for people who don't have him, right, this is why he's very, very good. There's another reason why he's very, very good. His ultimate is the exact same. I do have him at 2 out of 6, but it's very, very good. So he does 500% damage on all enemies for, you know, very, very good damage. And then it is a 45% multiplier, right? We can just see that right there. So there you go. And it's very, very strong. Even if you run him on an HP and defense set, it's still very, very strong because charge ignores defense. So very, very good. And like I said, you know, it's the same thing. I have to remove those defense engravements on him. But I mean, hey, look, you could run a triple defense set on him. Look at his defense. It's 11 It's 11k, which is very good. Very, very good. So let's go ahead and let's switch it into the blue Droles and equipment. And then here, so HP and defense set, very optimal. This is the most optimal. 51k with 1 dupe in him, very good. Again, cosmetic wise, both the same. So there you go. So it's very, very good to have an HP and defense set. Like I said, probably the most optimal to have on both of the Droles, because they're meant to be tanks, right? They're meant to be walls that can't be broken down. So again, you can build them the way you want. Optimally, it is HP and defense. That's what you want to run on him, because you want the most CC4 Droll as well, and you want him to be able to tank. So very good. You could run, again, you could run attack and defense, because this detonate card will hit like, it'll hit like a freaking freight train if you have him on attack and defense. But it does work on HP and defense as well, so keep that in mind. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. That's the way how to build both of the Droles, HP and defense. I'm going to leave off with that. Very, very good unit. So if you have both of the, or either or both of the Droles, be sure you work on them at some point, because they will be very useful in PvP. So there you go. But with that said, guys, I'm going to end the video, and I will catch you all next time.